I did
I
want to cover this. It's a little bit one of those crazy things. It reads like some kind of weird story. But I guess Senor Nick Fuentes, which is a very, shall we say, polemical figure. How do you
Oh,
say that?
that's for sure.
Polemical,
I think that's for sure.
Yeah. So he's out in the news because somebody made an attempt to delete him. Uh, this is I think like the second time because he got doxxed and people revealed where he was living. We don't promote doxing. We think it's horrible. We don't think anybody should do it. Uh, so I guess somebody tried to come to his house. Matt Walsh, came out and said if this is true, proves why doxes is not a troll or a joke, but essentially an active attempted deletion. People do this because they explicitly want to get the target taken out. It should be threatened as a criminal offense, and those who participate in this should be held liable when this inevitably happens. And this kind of like one of those big arguments out there because you have this idea that okay, you don't like the person is horrible, you disagree with the person, but then what you do online is you try to figure out where they live, where they stay, and then either you call the cops on them, which is called swatting, or saying that the person's unwell or they're trying to harm their family and all this stuff, which is an attempt to delete them as well through officers. And then you also do these things where you basically dox them where they live and put it out there for the freakazoids that are out there who are basically have nothing better to do than to be someone online by attacking somebody. Uh, and it's a horrible thing, and there's actually
We need stronger laws against this. This is a completely dangerous situation. It's not funny, it's evil, and really we should absolutely have stringent consequences for people who do it. It's not okay. And I agree with Lady Jen. I'm not a fan of this
no,
individual.
no, no, all right.
Um, but it's not okay. It should not be that people can make these kinds of situations happen.
Yeah,
That's not the way you do it, by, like
and
you say, swatting, doxing, or any of those things.
right, and that's why I brought it up because it's been many a time when there was doxing, but this it just basically happened recently, and knowing that because whether you agree or disagree, a lot of people do not like this fellow. Um, I know a bunch of people who are like, I listen to some of his stuff very rarely. I think at one time I listened to half of like a video, not even like not on the site. They always have clips and all that kind of stuff. I don't understand his vision of Catholicism at all. As well, we're not so-called white nationalists Catholics because
Yeah,
that
he's a nut.
doesn't make sense to us.
it's a it's a non it's an oxymoron.
Yeah. So what is this? A
You
non sequitur or
It's
something?
a non sequitur.
Yes.
You can't be a white nationalist and call yourself Catholic. You can't be a black nationalist and call yourself Catholic. You can't be any of those things because we are for Christ. We're not for a particular nationality. We're not for our race. We're for our faith. So you really can't. I mean, he's not Catholic. I don't know what he is. You can't be that.
So I guess this is the person out here, and I guess he said, "Yo, Nick," before the officers came, and I guess he thought it was some kind of video game or something. He has all kinds of armament, including a crossbow. I don't understand. It feels like it's some kind of like a game, like they think they're in some kind of video game. And unfortunately, this person is now no longer with us.
Oh,
We pray
really?
for his immortal soul because
Wow.
the cops weren't playing. Um, and yeah, I think this was what his intention was, and it goes more along the lines of like Interflex gone wrong, right? It's where this whole doxing thing. even if you don't like the person, if you feel the person should not be around, that's, this is a completely different thing, because to when you're doxing somebody, this is what can happen, right? This is you're doing something like this, and it's not the firearm's fault. It's not any of this.
Right.
It's more along the lines of, hey, you are basically sending one of these fools that need to, work their medication, and I don't know. It's such a it's such a ridiculous take. You don't like what he said on the internet, so now I have to take you out. We don't do that. I mean, if that's the case, everybody would be in Madonna's store.
Right.
So
Exactly.
it just feels
Well,
a
I'm
bad take.
glad that things worked out. I'm glad that, I mean, I'm sorry for him. I pray that if he, I pray God's mercy as we always do for people. But yeah, that's not cool. And I keep hearing, I've heard about YouTubers having it happen to them.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
people,
yeah,
the whole world's become a little bit insane. That's not okay.
yeah. I think, like, my understanding, I think, uh, several big YouTubers have gotten doxxed and stuff. And it's a shame, and we don't condone it, and we don't. We hope that, don't do it. Don't do it. It doesn't. It's not what you think it is. If you
And
feel
really,
that
they,
go ahead.
yeah, go ahead. People, we need to have stronger rules against it too.
Yeah, because it's kind of vague, right? Because it's not the person doing it. It's almost like the person that just said, "Hey, this person lives here." In a
Right.
sense, yeah, they could be taken a whole lot of ways. So, and anytime you create new laws, you have to be careful, because basically they're created against you. So I will see.
Like you
Just
said, just because you don't like someone, it's like we have to change the way that we are. The
right.
culture is so insane that you think you can take such actions, because you see that with the election. It's almost like we can, um, you know, dehumanize the other side.
No, right.
And like that means it's okay anything you do, because if they are bad, so therefore they have no rights. We can just do whatever we want, and it's like there's something wrong with that way of thinking.